Hello, I'm Ella Power and I'm delighted to be back at DriveElectric head office today to show you the highly anticipated, award-winning IONIQ 5 just behind me. So let's go and see what all the fuss has been about. Now, Hyundai are renowned for producing family-sized, high-quality electric cars. So what makes the IONIQ 5 any different? Well, it's unique in appearance. I'm sure you'll agree, it really does stand out from its rivals in the sense that it's got a minimalistic structure. You've got these defined sharp edges on the front which run through the entire body of the car, which I really like. But the feature that I appreciate the most are these pixelated lights here at the front. LED, they're at the front and the back. They're really nice. For me, they kind of remind me of like a sci-fi film. And I'm totally okay with that. It feels very futuristic. You've also got this pixelated feature here running all the way across the front of the bonnet. Coming round to the side of the car, you've got the wheel arches here that have the sharp lines continued throughout, and also some very nice chiseled 19-inch alloy wheels. Again, sharp lines continuing all the way down the body of the car, and I really like this. I think some of the crossovers that we've seen on the market can look a bit bloated, whereas this feels more sort of sophisticated, more high-tech and structured in appearance, and I think that looks really aesthetically pleasing on the eye. Now, coming round to the boot, do not be deceived by this hatchback style and appearance. It has got lots of space inside. Again, we've got the pixelated LED light feature here. Apparently over 256 individual lights placed here, and they do look really impressive when they're on. Now, the beady-eyed among you might have noticed that there is no rear windscreen wiper at the back. Now, that is deliberate. Apparently, the aerodynamics of the car are so good that you're never going to have to use one. To open the boot, you've got a button just under here, which you click, and all the hard work is done for you. To reveal the boot size, so this is a 527 litre boot space, which is pretty impressive. You can remove the cover like so. Great, obviously, to have a cover for storing your valuables and making sure that they're kept out of sight. There's also a storage compartment under here if you need to put any other valuables safely tucked away. It's nice and wide, and it's also very deep, really good for putting your shopping bags in, golf clubs, pram, family dog, whatever you need. I can see it quite fitting in very, very easily here. Now, to close the boot, you just click the button here, and again, it's electronic, does it for you. Now, to maximise boot space, you can fold down the rear seats like this and also move them forward, and that gives you a total of 1,587 litres, which is really practical. So in the back, feels very comfortable. I really like the height of the ceiling. It feels very spacious, nice as well, big rear windows, so it feels light and airy, and also good legroom. I'm also carrying an extra passenger, and I do feel like I've got plenty of space. There is a nice feature here as well, armrest, some cup holders as well, always very useful, and you can use the seat in the middle, although I think if you had three in here it would be a little bit tight. And for the comfort of passengers in the back, you have these rear air vents that are built in to the sides of the pillars. In the back of the middle console, you also have some charging sockets, and you have a 3-pin plug just under here. Now, I'm kind of thinking about what I could possibly use that for. I don't know yet, but I like the fact that it's there. So let's jump into the driver's seat. A nice touch is that the handles open up automatically. The only thing is, they feel a little bit like a weak handshake. So welcome to the front cabin. Oh, is quite a reach, I have to say, to close the door. Probably doesn't help as well that I've got a bump in the way. But now we're in. First impressions, really good. It feels very spacious. Front windscreen feels very wide, light and airy. I really like as well, again, that the headroom is very generous. I'm very tall, so that's something that is important to me. Looking across the dash, it all feels very minimalist and high tech. It kind of reminds me of sitting in a Tesla. You've got two centre 12.3 inch touchscreens. One is for more infotainment and the other is to display important driver information like the speed and your range and other important information like that. In the middle you've got a shortcut to buttons to give you quick access. I personally really like having traditional buttons here. I think they're easier to click on, and it makes for a really simple user experience. Just below you have your climate control settings and air conditioning, which are controlled via touch buttons. You've got your media, so things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, along with lots of other quite fancy looking things. You've got your sat nav as well, which is very useful, and that takes you onto your maps as well. In the centre here you've got your main dash, which gives you key driver information. So you've got your speed, you've got your range, and it also tells you about your driving modes as well, which are displayed very clearly. Now the wheel itself I really like. It feels very sporty. It reminds me of some of the sort of more of the GTs that I've driven before. It's got the stitching around the edges. It feels very tactile, and yeah, I really like it. You've got buttons in the middle as well here for dual controls, so things like cruise control and volume control that you can access really quickly as well. Something I noticed as soon as I got in was the floor space. Now this is true for both the back and the front. The way that Hyundai have positioned the battery packs means that they've maximised space inside, and you can really feel the benefit of that just by looking around. Really good legroom once again. You can adjust the seat back and forth. There's electronic controls just here on the right. A feature that I have to say I really love is the fact that this front seat reclines fully. Now, I am going to show you how to operate this. There is a danger that if I go back, I might not come up again, but I'm okay with that. Any excuse for an afternoon nap. So here I go. Oh, it does feel very luxurious. I feel like I'm in a lounge. Oh, lovely. So the idea of this is that you can lie back comfortably if you're charging or if you're just, you know, waiting in the car. Then you've got this sort of really comfortable experience. And I have to say the chairs as well feel very cozy, and the headrests as well are quite spongy, all focused around comfort and really thoughtfully designed. Another feature I like is the sun visor, which includes a very generously sized mirror. Moving on to storage, you've got some good cup holders and nice space in both the doors at the front. You have your middle console here as well, so you've got a nice comfortable armrest, nicely stitched as well, good attention to detail, and some storage inside, so to put your pens in or any other sort of necessities that you might want to keep in the car. And then down here as well you've got some more storage, and you've also got your wireless phone platform here, so you can literally pop your phone on that and it will wirelessly charge, which is really convenient. You don't have to worry about wires and plugging things in, which I really like. And you do also have two charging ports here as well if you're charging more than one phone. Cup holder in the middle, of course, for your eco-friendly cups. On the highest trim level, you can actually move this central console back for the benefit of your passengers in the rear seats, so they can use it as a sort of a writing desk or a picnic table. It's a really handy feature, and it means if you want to, you can have a lot more space in the front, which is great. Now, the glove box I really like this. Most glove boxes, kind of when you open them, they drop down, whereas this one slides towards you, which I think is a really nice feature, and again, very practical when you're trying to store goods away. The IONIQ 5 is the first of Hyundai's next generation of electric vehicles to include its new electric global modular platform. Now, this promises lightning fast charging speeds, improved range and handling, and also a more spacious interior. So let's take it for a spin and put it to the test. Okay, so off we go. The electric car enthusiasts among you might remember that Hyundai actually released a photo of this concept car at the 2019 Frankfurt Motor Show. Now, I'm actually really pleased that they haven't changed it significantly from what they had revealed then. It's kept the retro modern feel and looks, and to see it actually come to fruition is a real joy. Normally you're sort of in a bigger SUV to feel this high up, so I really like the positioning of the seat, and obviously you can adjust that back and forth, but I think the height is really good. You do feel like you're sort of commanding the road ahead. So there's 3 different driving modes: Eco for conserving your range, Normal, and Sport if, like me, you want a bit of speed and performance. So we'll test those out now. It does feel quite heavy. Yeah, to get going, you really do feel like you have to put the accelerator down quite a bit to get that speed. Now switched into Sport mode, going around a bend as well. It's good timing. Ooh, oh yeah, that's much better. Speed and performance used to be my priorities, and then now I'm expecting my first baby. It's all about comfort, practicality, and safety. So let's switch into Eco mode. There we go. And I'm just controlling this by this button on my left, which is next to the steering wheel. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's quite straightforward. Right, so Eco mode. Now this mode you want to use to help conserve your range, particularly on longer journeys. Naturally, it does try and slow you down. I can feel, the acceleration is really compromised. The car does feel very wide. It is 1.9 meters wide. So that's actually wider than cars like the ID4 and the Ford Mustang Mach-E. So it is a very wide car. You do have to be careful. I can imagine going down narrow roads, or particularly if you're in the city, you just have to be aware of how wide it is. And I think it's like anything, the more you drive it, the more you get used to it. The IONIQ 5 comes in 3 different trim levels. You have the SE Connect, which is an entry-level model, but you still get things like 19-inch alloy wheels with the entry, and also the rear parking sensors and camera. Mid-level, you've got your premium, which is what we're in right now, is the premium spec. So added benefits like heated front seats and heated steering wheel. And then you have your ultimate trim level, which has 20-inch alloy wheels and all of the luxury and bells and whistles you'd expect. This car comes in 2 battery sizes. You have the 58 kilowatt hour and the 73 kilowatt hour. Now the 58 kilowatt hour battery will give you around 240 miles range versus the 73 kilowatt that will give you just under 300. Now they are the official ranges stated. At DriveElectric we also do our own real world range testing, and typically we would say that in real conditions you'd be looking around 20% or so less than that. In the time that we've had the IONIQ 5, our real world range test has indicated around 220 miles for the 73 kilowatt hour battery. Now, it is important to to emphasise that range is influenced by a number of factors, including driving style and also weather conditions. But it is important to bear this in mind, particularly if you are looking to do longer journeys more regularly. Now, one of the key benefits of this vehicle is the ability for it to rapid charge at very high speeds. It has the ability, if plugged in, to an up to 350 kilowatt power to charge from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes, which is lightning fast. The top speed for the IONIQ 5 is 115 miles per hour. The 58 kilowatt hour battery pack will give you a performance of 0 to 62 miles per hour in 8.5 seconds. Now, as I mentioned before, it's not all about speed. The comfort and practicality of the vehicle is key, and for me it really does tick those boxes. The price of the IONIQ 5 starts at £37,000, rising to circa £48,000 depending on the trim levels that you go for, which actually, for the space and tech you get, I think is actually really good value. This vehicle also has very impressive levels of safety kit, and that includes a 5-year warranty on the vehicle itself, an up to 8-year warranty, or 125,000 miles on the battery pack as well. Hyundai have done their best to reduce their reliance on oil-based materials. Things like eco-processed leather, recycled yarn and plastic bottles have been incorporated. I've tested the regen braking in eco, normal and sport mode. And I have to say, there is a slight variation, but overall the regen is not as harsh as other vehicles that I've test driven before. And I think that's a real advantage, particularly for those that are going from a petrol or diesel vehicle to a pure electric vehicle for the first time. I have to say, I'm really enjoying this drive. It feels very comfortable, it's quite effortless, not as smooth as I would have hoped over bumps in the road, but then again, if I'm not, if I'm watching my speed, then I'm also able to influence that. Rear parking camera is doing its thing. I've got a nice view of the back there to prevent me from hitting anything. I have to say, I have really enjoyed this test drive today. I didn't expect that a brand like Hyundai could spark my interest in this way, but they really have with their new IONIQ 5. As a company, they have committed to launching over 23 all-new electric models by 2023. And I personally can't wait to see what else they have in store. Now, if the IONIQ 5 has also caught your attention with its stylish design, impressive range and high tech, then please get in touch with one of the DriveElectric team. We'd be delighted to help you. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.